Won a national championship at Alabama, won a Heisman, and he's joining us on behalf of Young Nine Foundation. He is Bryce Young of the Carolina Panthers. Look at that. Big introduction there, big walkout. This is how we do it at a big TV production there, Bryce. This is what it's all about. Thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
What advice would you give you 12 months ago?
Just to be consistent. Obviously, a lot of ups and downs this year. Was a different road, different path, different journey for me. But be consistent on the field, off the field. Be consistent in my habits and beliefs, and just trust the process.
But a lot of people bailed on you. Like, you were too short in September this season, and then all of a sudden you seem to get taller in November. like what? But you didn't get taller, did you?
I did not get taller.
Okay. But people were bailing on you. And what was that feeling like that, they didn't think you could be a starting quarterback?
To be honest with you, I'm not someone who's super tapped into all the narratives, all the things going on. I try to control what I can control, focus on that. So,
but family members might say something. Your buddies might say, "Man, this guy killing you."
I'm blessed to have a really good support system, good family. So I at least didn't get it to my face. But for me, again, it was just trying to be consistent. No matter, I think that's kind of life, especially in this profession. People view you here one day, it'll view you lower. The next day, it comes with the territory. So it's not really something I put a lot of stock in, how I'm perceived or looked at. I just try to focus on the football.
I don't want to call it your benching week, but I'll call it a bye week for you. Okay? Let's make it positive here.
For sure.
Okay, so it was a bye week. What did you learn watching?
Yeah, I just tried to play the game from the sideline at that point. It's different, obviously.
So you wear a headset?
Yeah, wear a headset, hear the calls, still locked in all week. So it's different than being back there. But I just tried to look at, still play the game, still try to put myself through it, think what I'd be doing and think in that scenario. You get a little bit different view and perspective, but I still tried to get as much out of it as I could.
We thought it was a good week just because sometimes you need to, kind of see things, and if, somebody who's in there for you can tell you these things, or you can see it in a different way, hear it in a different way. It just seems like it changed you a little bit there. Or we saw the results on the field, but I don't know what happened where it clicked. You saw the game differently? Did the game slow down? Quarterbacks talk about all of those things.
Yeah, I think it was just great being able to have some time in the system. It wasn't, obviously, you don't get the same amount of reps, you don't get the same kind of sort of progress on the bench, but being able to come back in and just have more time with the system. Obviously new staff this year. We didn't have a lot of time at first just to be able to play it. Obviously, you study in the offseason, you get training camp and practice, but, there's part of owning it in the games too. So when I was able to come back, I was grateful for the opportunity just to be able to grow in the system, to make it my own, to feel comfortable. And, kind of as the season progressed and I got those reps on the field, I just felt more and more comfortable within the system.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Honestly, mine was actually a little opposite. When I went to my rookie year, it was at home, week 2 against the Saints. Obviously, I was watching film. I know who's going to be on the team. But, first play, I look over and I see Tyrann Mathieu over there. And, for me, just growing up, that was someone that I was that's the honey badger. I watched that. I watched the LSU tape, a million times. And I was just, after the first snap, I was like, it's Tyrann Mathieu over there. All right, let's lock back in. But
so you knew he
crazy.
was there, but now you're seeing him there.
Exactly. I'm seeing him move, and I'm like, I done watched this so many times on film. So that was a really cool moment. It's still cool to look across and see people and you've watched growing up, and
But
you have
what
a lot of
about
respect for.
if you look and you see Jalen Carter on the other side, that's not pleasant.
Yeah, I had to see that in college too. So I guess
he's two of you. Jalen Carter is two of you.
Yeah. I have a ton of respect for those guys. It's really cool just also from a physical standpoint. Honestly, for me, seeing guys like that and guys that are just it's cool being on that same field. Even though like, size, stature obviously is different. It's like for me, I get like a bit of like I don't know what it is. It's like a confidence or like excitement about it where it's like that's someone who's obviously super big and strong and someone who is this tall or this, and like I'm here too, and this is where I'm supposed to be. There's something about that.
But who do you study? Because I would think Drew Brees is probably the comp for you. Russell is a bigger, but I don't know who else you were compared to, and if you even talked to Drew Brees about playing.
Yeah, I have. He was gracious enough, especially in the pre-draft process. We've had conversations. That was someone that I've always had a ton of respect for. Watch, but honestly, for me, I don't really think about size. I've been like relative to the people around me. I've been this height for like my whole life, so I don't really know what it's like to be taller than everyone.
But are you small?
I mean, I don't know if that's something for me to answer. I don't like. For me, I just know how to. I've been myself, and I know how to play football the way I know how to play football. So, I love the game, and I love watching people and seeing things they do just from a quarterback standpoint. But I've never thought of it everyone like, yeah, I'm short for sure, like for my position, but
there was the picture of you walking across the parking lot with your book bag and looked like it was first day of school. Did you see that photo?
I did see that photo.
Now you gotta laugh at that a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, no, I don't mind at all. Like all that stuff there's like I've seen some like hilarious stuff about like my height. It's fine. Like I don't. Again, I'm used to it. I embrace it. But I only know one way to play football. So I've never had to adjust. I've never had to like, okay, dang, this is way different now. This is just how I know how to play the game, how I know how to see it.
Well, sometimes we get caught up in number of passes batted down at the line of scrimmage, but then you see guys who are 6'4", 6'5", who lead the league in getting, Justin Herbert getting passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And I don't know if when you're with Coach Saban, at college, they kind of create like windows for you to throw, whereas in the NFL, maybe not as much. So I don't know, like advice that Coach Saban gave you that you take today, you always remind yourself of.
Yeah, we've never talked about, it's not really something you bring up or talk about, no matter, I've been in quarterback rooms with every, regardless of like the size, you don't ever bring up or talk about batted balls. Obviously, Coach has given a ton of great advice about a ton of things on and off the field.
Did he use the expression "D's nuts"?
I don't know if I'm allowed to.
You are. Josh Jacobs told me about it years ago.
It may have come up once or twice.
Coach, I asked Coach about it too, though.
Okay, what did he say?
He said yes.
Okay, yeah, all right, for sure. Yeah, it comes up. If he's in a good mood, that's how you know. Like,
it is.
If it's like before practice, like that'll be the time, like during pre-practice, and it'll just be out the blue. It'll do like a straight face, and you're like, all right, cool. Like we got a shot today.
How's he say it?
I can't do his voice, but he's like very.
Because he's like Belichick. He sits down.
Yeah.
He's like Bryce. How about these nuts?
It's like every time he does it, like you have a second of like, wait, did he just? Say? And they're like, all right, cool. Like this means it should be a pretty good practice. Like let's just not mess it up.
He is Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers quarterback. Tell me about the Young Nine Foundation that you're doing.
Yeah, that's something that I'm super grateful for. Me and my team at the foundation. We focus on mental health and just making sure that we can spread just spread the importance of mental health and kind of change the narrative, especially for the youth. I'm a big believer of the importance of mental health in whatever aspect and walk of life you're in. And just growing up, it's not something that's talked about a lot. And just we have a mission just to try to destigmatize it and do all we can to help and especially for the younger generation. I think the earlier that you're able to talk about things and you're able to have those conversations and awareness about mental health.
Has this affected you? I mean, to start this, is it you affected by this or somebody in your family?
Yeah, again, I think it's something that we all have our own battles, our own struggles. There's obviously different ranges, but I have a lot of family members that my dad, my aunt, they're all in the mental health profession. And
okay.
Yeah, and my grandfather was as well. So we're all, it's something that I was blessed kind of just to grow up around and be aware of. And, I've definitely had my own personal battles we all do, and it's something that I feel like the older you are, if it's something you don't talk about or something that you're not aware of, it's harder to kind of change. But when you can get that on your mind earlier at a younger age, I think it can really help throughout life. And also right now, just in the community, the Alcina and Pasadena Fires is something that we've gone and helped with, and it's an ongoing struggle. There's a lot of people that are affected right now just in my community. And that's something also that we've kind of pivoted towards helping and providing care for. So, that's kind of another part of our journey
Well, you have that PTSD where, these people going through what they went through or still going through, and they're going to go through this for maybe the rest of their lives in California.
Yeah.
That what it meant to you. And then, I always say when people say, oh, those people, they can rebuild. And I say, you can rebuild a house, you can't rebuild a home.
100%. And there's a lot of things, I don't want to get into the weeds of it, but there's a lot of things just community-wise that, there's a lot of hoops to jump through, obviously dealing with the logistics of things that a lot of families, have to, they have to juggle with now. Trying to keep the community together and a lot of financial things that a lot of people are struggling with. So, again, that's something that people are going to be dealing with and are going to have really big. It's going to be big for years now. So just trying to have substantial support for the people and the victims of that is important.
It's Bryce Young, the Young 9 Foundation. What did Patrick Mahomes say to you after you guys lost to them in Carolina?
Yeah, that I had talked to him a few times before. He was just telling me that he was happy for me, that, he was,
I mean, not that happy for, like he was happy that you didn't beat him, right?
Yeah. No, he was just happy for, the way I was playing and, turning things around, and that he was always rooting for me, which, that's someone, obviously it's Mahomes, someone that I have the utmost respect for. Has always been super, super gracious, super nice the times I've talked to him.
Did you trade jerseys?
No, we didn't jersey swap. I'm bad at that though. I'm bad at asking. It never crosses my mind. No, I just full transparency. I'm not really I have people's jerseys. I don't know if I'm a hang up people's jersey. I didn't grow up around a lot of sports memorabilia. I guess a lot of sports. So it's I value the relationships I have with people in the league, and I have a lot of really close friends. A lot of people I'm really close with. I value that more than I think of it like a jersey or a piece of memorabilia. So it rarely crosses my mind for it.
Whose jersey do you have that I might be surprised?
You'd be surprised.
No defensive players, right?
No, I have some defensive players.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, a lot of the Eagles players.
Honey Badger?
I don't have, again, same thing. It just never crosses my mind of get a jersey. I've talked I've talked to him multiple times. He's really cool. So in my mind, I value oh yeah, it's cool. We have
Paulie, bring out Honey Badger. Hey, Todd, why don't you reach out to Honey Badger and just say Bryce is kind of shy, doesn't.
We can do that.
Yeah.
He seems a little reserved and quiet.
But would you put Honey Badger's jersey up in your bedroom?
Okay, shout out my dog. He knows that's my dog. There's no one's jersey I would put. I don't have any of my stuff up. I don't have anyone's stuff.
Where's is the Heisman with you?
I don't. My parents have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do they have it on? Soon as I walk in the house, I go, oh.
It's not in the house. No, not in the house.
Okay.
I think it's in my dad's office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a baller move there by your dad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He has a good little setup to where if you zoom him, it's in the background. He's on it. Yeah, he's on it.
I like it.
He's on it.
The foundation, Young, and the number 9 foundation, Bryce Young. Thanks for joining us.
For sure.
Congrats
Thanks for
on the
having me.
second year. A lot of people rooting for you.
Appreciate
A lot of
you.
people rooting for you. We'll take a break. We're going to play a game. What is the game called, Paulie? The downside?
The Super Bowl downside game.
That'll be after this Dan Patrick Show.